Most people genuinely believe that walking is just too simple and too easy to change their body in any meaningful. But scientists have now uncovered something so remarkably powerful about walking that it will completely and forever transform how you. What if just 30 minutes of walking every single day could literally dissolve your stored body fat from the inside? Not by exhausting you, not by demanding long hours of gym time, but through quiet and invisibly powerful deep biological. Your body is operating one of the most sophisticated and efficient fat-burning programs ever engineered, and walking activates it the very moment your foot strikes the ground, something extraordinary and silent ignites deep inside every single living cell you. It all begins quietly and invisibly, but the metabolic impact this creates will gradually and very powerfully reshape your entire. Most surprisingly of all, the vast majority of every pound of fat you ever lose actually exits your body through. Stay right here with me, because what you are about to discover will permanently and profoundly change the way you. The very second you take your first step, your body instantly and completely shifts out of its comfortable and familiar. Scientists formally call this the acute activity response, the biological spark that powerfully ignites everything else happening deep inside your muscles immediately send urgent chemical distress signals to your brain, demanding fresh energy to power and sustain every single. These signals travel instantly through your nervous system, triggering your cardiovascular system to wake up and respond with remarkable speed. Your heart rate begins climbing steadily, your breathing deepens completely automatically, and blood rushes powerfully and steadily toward all your. It may feel like a gentle, casual stroll to you, but deep inside your body, a profound and remarkable metabolic. Within the very first minute of walking, your cells begin producing more AP, the fundamental energy currency that powers all. AP is what keeps your heart beating, your lungs continuously expanding, and your legs moving forward with every single rhythmic. Without this rapid and sustained energy production, your body simply could not maintain even the most basic and gentle level. As your AP demand continues rising, your entire metabolism climbs powerfully with it, in a widening and transformative cascade of. Your body's preferred fuel during early movement is glucose, the fast and readily available sugar already circulating freely inside your. Glucose is the body's emergency fuel, always on standby, always fully primed and ready to burn the very instant any. Adrenaline rises gently during those first few minutes, not quite enough to stress you, just enough to sharpen your total. This subtle but important hormonal surge quietly signals every single tissue throughout your body to prepare itself for the possibility. Your lungs automatically and efficiently pull in more oxygen, feeding your bloodstream with all the raw fuel your hard-working muscles. Even though you feel completely and pleasantly relaxed walking outside, your cells are already operating at an entirely new end. They are beginning to unlock powerful dormant metabolic pathways that remain completely inactive during the long sedentary hours of sitting. These pathways, once opened fully, become the direct biological doorway to something far more powerful than simple and basic everyday. They lead directly to your deep-stored fat reserves and grow progressively wider and more accessible the longer you consistently. This is precisely why consistent daily walking is not merely simple light exercise, but the true biological master key that. Here is a powerful fact that will completely reframe how you think about all the fat that is currently sitting. Fat cells, scientifically known as adipocytes, are not passive dead weight sitting quietly beneath your skin, just waiting to be. They are living, dynamic, and powerfully active biological organs that actively respond to hormones, movement, and chemical signals every single. The very instant you begin walking, your fat cells receive clear neurological and hormonal messages announcing urgently that your body's. This single alert alone begins fundamentally and immediately changing the behavior of fat cells even before a single molecule of. As your muscles warm up and begin repeatedly contracting, they release tiny but powerful signaling proteins called myokines directly into. These myokines travel directly and efficiently to your fat tissue and deliver one urgent, clear biological command: prepare yourself to. This crucial preparation phase is absolutely not a minor biological detail, but the essential and critical metabolic setup for everything. Insulin levels throughout your blood begin dropping as your active muscles absorb glucose without requiring insulin's active involvement or any. This significant insulin decline is one of the most critically important metabolic shifts your body absolutely needs to truly begin. Think of insulin as a biological padlock that keeps all of your stored fat securely sealed inside your fat cells. When insulin drops during your walk, that biological padlock finally turns. The door swings open wide, and all your stored. Inside each individual fat cell, energy sits as tightly packed molecules called triglycerides. Essentially, rich and concentrated droplets of incredibly. When your body sends its official fat release command, an enzyme called hormone-sensitive lipase finally awakens and immediately begins its critical. This powerful and precise enzyme is the biological tool that systematically begins breaking down triglycerides, packed deep inside every single. The process that follows is called lipolysis, and it builds gradually in biological intensity the longer your daily walking continues. Each triglyceride molecule precisely breaks apart into 3 individual fatty acids and 1 glycerol molecule through this efficient and powerful. These newly freed molecular fragments immediately enter your bloodstream and travel on special protein carriers toward wherever your body needs. This is the precise biological moment when fat officially and permanently leaves the fat cell and begins its full journey. Although this entire transformative process is microscopic and completely invisible to you, the accumulated effect, across thousands of daily steps, your muscles eagerly await those fatty acid travelers, moving steadily through your bloodstream and arriving right on time with every. Unlike glucose, which requires careful hormonal regulation and control, fatty acids flow relatively freely and naturally into your patiently waiting. Once inside the muscle cell, these fatty acids travel directly into the mitochondria, remarkable tiny structures responsible for producing nearly. Inside your mitochondria, fatty acids enter a biochemical process called beta oxidation, widely considered nature's single most efficient energy extraction. Beta oxidation methodically and precisely strips carbon fragments from fatty acid molecules one at a time, releasing stored chemical energy. This is not the explosive and rapid energy release that glucose produces during intense high-demand exercise sessions that push your. This is slow, sustained, and beautifully calibrated energy production designed perfectly for exactly the kind of moderate steady activity that. Mitochondria are commonly and simply called the powerhouses of the cell, but they are far more sophisticated and remarkable than. They are adaptive and dynamic biological command centers that respond to and systematically improve their own function through consistent and. When you walk every single day consistently, your mitochondria do not just work harder, they actually multiply and grow. This remarkable biological adaptation is called mitochondrial biogenesis, and it fundamentally and permanently transforms your entire long-term metabolic capacity and. More mitochondria inside your cells means immeasurably faster resting metabolism, significantly better daily endurance, and dramatically more efficient. And recent research has uncovered something even more extraordinary about mitochondria that most scientists simply did not fully understand or appreciate. During walking, your mitochondria actively broadcast powerful chemical signals throughout your entire body, powerfully influencing critical processes far beyond just. These important signals directly reduce systemic inflammation, sharpen overall hormone sensitivity, slow the aging of cells, and upgrade how efficiently. By walking just 30 minutes each day, you are doing something far more profound than simply burning a few hundred. You are actively enhancing and strengthening an entire interconnected cellular communication network that quietly and powerfully shapes your long-term health. This is the profound and important dimension most people completely miss when they casually dismiss daily walking as being too. The real power of walking is not what it burns in any single session, but what it permanently and profoundly. Every single walk you take is a direct and compounding biological investment into a healthier and more metabolically efficient version. Scientists carefully studied the relationship between exercise duration and fat metabolism for many decades, seriously searching for the elusive critical. What emerged consistently and repeatedly from study after study and year after year was that 30 minutes is the definitive. During the opening minutes of your walk, your body burns primarily glucose because it is instantly accessible and extremely rapidly. As you continue walking steadily past 5, 10, and 20 minutes, something profound and gradual begins to powerfully shift deep. Your available glucose supply inside the working muscles gradually thins out, prompting your body to immediately seek a richer and enzymes that manage glucose metabolism begin stepping back, while those specifically responsible for fat oxidation become progressively more active and hormonal changes align perfectly together. Insulin keeps steadily falling while glucagon rises, directing your entire metabolism powerfully toward your deeper. By the time you reach 30 continuous minutes of steady walking, all these vital hormonal and enzymatic changes have completely. Your oxygen consumption reaches what scientists precisely call a metabolic steady state, your cells now operating in a beautifully calibrated. This steady state is exactly the biological environment where fat oxidation thrives and burns most efficiently and most reliably for. High-intensity exercise can simply never reach this fat-focused steady state because its oxygen demand spikes far too rapidly. And 2. When oxygen demand spikes sharply, your body immediately reverts to burning glucose because it can be processed rapidly without requiring. Walking is perfectly and precisely calibrated to keep you consistently inside the exact metabolic zone where fat consistently remains your. 30 minutes is absolutely not some invented wellness guideline. It is a real, scientifically confirmed, and measurably important metabolic. At this exact point in your walk, your body has completely stopped preparing for activity and committed entirely to active. Every additional minute of walking past this critical threshold pushes your fat-burning machinery deeper into its most productive and most. Your body is no longer debating whether to burn fat. It has committed completely and is burning powerfully. And here is one of the most counterintuitive and genuinely astonishing facts about fat loss that almost nobody in the fitness. When fat is metabolically burned, it absolutely does not melt, does not turn to heat, and does not escape through. The carbon atoms that once formed your stored triglycerides combine with oxygen molecules and exit your body entirely, as quietly. You quite literally breathe out the vast majority of every single pound of fat you ever lose through your quiet. The remaining components of fully oxidized fat transform into simple water molecules that are then expelled through your urine and Fat loss is fundamentally a powerful and invisible chemical transformation, a conversion from dense, stored molecular energy into exhaled. Your fat cells gradually and consistently shrink as their stored contents are systematically dismantled, molecule by molecule, and quietly. And understanding this remarkable biological truth completely dismantles the popular fitness myth that sweating harder or working more intensely always produces. What genuinely matters most is not how hard you push your body, but how consistently and steadily you remain inside. Walking achieves this profound and sustained metabolic state far better than almost any other form of exercise accessible to most. Every single day that you walk, you place a small but real and powerful metabolic withdrawal request directly on your. The very first day, the withdrawal is almost imperceptible. Just a tiny and microscopic fraction of your total stored. But fat cells respond with remarkable biological precision and consistency to daily repetition, releasing progressively more stored fuel with every. Over weeks and months, these small daily withdrawals accumulate invisibly into measurable and genuinely visible changes in your overall body. Walking also dramatically improves blood circulation, specifically to adipose tissue, the fatty regions throughout your body where all you're stored. Improved circulation means fat release hormonal signals arrive at your fat cells faster and far more reliably than in any sedentary. It is like upgrading your body's internal biological communication infrastructure from a sluggish and unreliable connection to a fast and. Research has also now revealed that consistent daily walking actively reprograms which specific genes are switched on and active inside. Genes responsible for actively promoting fat storage get systematically turned down, while genes governing active fat breakdown and inflammation control. Your fat cells become genetically reprogrammed over consistent months to become progressively less determined about holding tightly onto all the. This is absolutely not wellness marketing language. This is real and measurable gene expression change confirmed consistently through rigorous. Over months of consistency, this genetic reprogramming creates a powerful compounding effect, where fat loss accelerates naturally and genuinely becomes. Your cells grow increasingly responsive, your metabolic pathways become more streamlined, and your entire biological system operates at a fundamentally. This biological consistency, not suffering, not extreme effort, not punishment, but simply daily repetition, is the true secret. After 30 minutes of walking, your brain simultaneously undergoes its own quietly extraordinary transformation alongside absolutely everything else happening deep. Serotonin and dopamine, the powerful neurotransmitters governing your mood and emotional stability, rise gently and steadily throughout your consistent and. Blood flow to the regions of your brain managing focus, memory, creative thinking, and important decision-making increases measurably during consistent. Your brain also begins releasing BDNF during your walk, widely celebrated and recognized as the brain's own extraordinarily powerful growth. This remarkable molecule actively repairs existing neural connections, stimulates the formation of entirely new connections, and guards powerfully against damaging. Your hunger hormones simultaneously and naturally begin recalibrating. Ghrelin stabilizes downward, while leptin sensitivity gradually and meaningfully improves with. This profound hormonal recalibration explains why consistent daily walkers naturally experience more balanced hunger, fewer intense cravings, and steadier and. Chronic inflammation silently and invisibly underlies an astonishing number of the most serious health problems that countless people struggle with. Heart disease, metabolic dysfunction, hormonal imbalances, persistent fatigue, and truly stubborn fat retention all connect directly back to chronically elevated Walking fights chronic inflammation through a direct, measurable, and scientifically confirmed biological mechanism that very few other common lifestyle habits. As your muscles move repeatedly during every walk, they actively release powerful anti-inflammatory proteins directly into your circulating bloodstream with. These powerful proteins accumulate across many weeks of consistent walking, gradually and measurably calming the chronic immune overactivity present throughout. Your metabolic machinery simultaneously becomes progressively cleaner and more efficient, with your mitochondria wasting dramatically less energy with every single. Fat-oxidizing enzymes grow increasingly more active and powerfully responsive, and your cells develop a progressively more refined ability to manage. Your insulin sensitivity improves quite dramatically, allowing your body to process carbohydrates far more efficiently without converting excess glucose into. This profound metabolic benefit does not simply stop when your walk ends. It continues actively working and burning inside,